Howdy nerds! This video is specifically made to show that with the current itemization in Wildrift, you can pretty much play any champion as a jungler. But playing champions in the jungle that aren't built for jungling requires extra effort and a bigger understanding to what the original role of that specific champion is. Have no fear though gamers, what I have for you is truly something special and enjoyable. With that said, here is a gameplay guide on playing Jungle Garen. Garen is well known for being memed as the king of bushes. His lack of proper engage tools that could hard CC the enemy is definitely a problem. But if you think that Garen can be easily out DPS'd by any other top laner, my friend, you are sorely mistaken. I'll have you know that Garen is actually pretty OP in the current patch. His high regeneration rate and in and out tactics are hard to handle if the player knows what they are doing. Added to that is his execution ulti, which pretty much guarantees you a kill if an enemy can be lowered to 30% HP. Let us start the gameplay. The core mechanics of Garen are of course his regeneration abuse and his 1-2-3 combo. Garen can beat anyone if a fight is drawn out because he can regenerate like crazy, especially if he has his core items. But playing him in jungle is a different story. First of all, his passive Perseverance, which makes him regenerate 1.2% of his health per second when not attacked by enemies for the last 5 seconds, still works if you fight with jungle monsters, meaning he has excellent sustain. Another key point in playing Garen is the difference in the playstyle. Instead of looking for possible long-drawn fights, you should aim for ganks and of course, split pushing. Garen doesn't require mana, which means he can spam his first ability and traverse the map quickly. Ganking with this also gives your allies an opening because of the silence it provides. But the main use of this ability is to deal massive damage to turrets. As you see here, I would go to red and straight to chickens. Garen doesn't need blue immediately because he has no mana and he has good sustain. Asking your teammates to leash would mean you could gank earlier, but Garen still has normal wave clear speed without it. As you can see, the enemy Riven is quite aggressive, going for an early gank in mid. Knowing this, I decide to hang around mid for a bit to see if Riven re-engages. As I notice the Scuttle Crab, I go to take it quick because again, I do not need to immediately grab the blue buff. Katarina overextends just a tiny bit and Garen can quickly capitalize and go for a silence, which makes Katarina burn her flash. Burning her flash means that my level 5 roam to her would be easier. This also means that she will take a less aggressive approach, which allows Ahri to catch up on gold because she is now dictating the wave pressure because of Katarina's current situation. As I was taking blue, I saw Riven down at bot lane with her blue buff, but she's not level 5 yet, so her damage is relatively low. Knowing that I cannot help Fiora, I would normally immediately begin to counter jungle just to throw Riven off her pathing. Here, I decide to ward the top river bush, predicting that Riven will try to go top lane. Sadly though, I decided to check the gold difference here by opening the tab and immediately got punished for not thinking that the bush was warded. Luckily though, I was already at level 5 and was able to take Olaf down with me. Here I see the Ahri rotating top, which means that the Katarina or Riven will soon follow. I decide immediately to capitalize the open mid lane and apply the first catalyst in deciding the victory of this game. As predicted, Riven and Katarina pulled up top, but in return they lose their mid. 2 kills is never worth a turret. This should be a lesson to all jungle mains. First of all, the first turret grants us bonus gold and gives us the upper hand in terms of pressure. The mid lane being pushed means that there is now an opening for either lane to capitalize if their opposing laner decides to rotate. And as predicted, Vayne rotates towards mid as I decide to take their blue buff. The ward placement here is vital if the first tower of the mid lane is broken, because it can provide vision from 2 possible gank openings from either the jungle or the bottom lane. Here I see a fight ensuing at top and Fiora rotating to help, which gives me the go signal to hit bot lane to either hold the line or push. Irelia deciding to go back to base tells me her intent to fight at top lane, which means I'm all clear for bot lane. The mid and bottom tower being down shows me that the pressure to defend those objectives is of highest priority now to the enemies, granting me the opportunity to take the Herald. As the vision shows, Riven prioritizes defending bot, which is actually a good call for a jungler. Sad to say though, it buys me more than enough time to take the Herald. Jungler rule number 1. If an opportunity presents itself, by all means, take it. This was a bad call. I decide to take Dragon knowing that the enemy knows my location because I just tried to take down the enemy Olaf, which leads to my death. Luckily, my team bails us out on this one with the Dragon kill. Now I know that this is quite a hard pill to swallow for junglers, and I don't want to make Dragon seem low on the objective priority hierarchy. But if you're playing as jungle Garen, always know that trying to take Dragon alone will take you a long time. So it's better to push and apply constant pressure than wait for your teammates to be available. Instead, apply pressure so that the enemy will rotate, therefore granting you more time to take the Dragon or break a turret. And this is why we ward choke points. I was too cocky and got punished for it. So here I decide to drop Herald knowing that we will soon be flanked and the only way to survive is either continue to push or force our way through the flank. But that will allow the enemy Katarina to capitalize. So I decide to push with Rakan and Ahri. But as soon as we noticed that the Olaf's priority was the safety of the tower over our heads, we had an opening to run and rendezvous with the rest of the team. In standoffs like this, Garen needs to lead the charge. He can tank the brunt of the enemy's upfront damage so the other DPS characters can capitalize, such as Fiora. Garen is also placed upfront because the value of his execute can greatly turn the tide of a teamfight. With only 2 of them left alive, this pretty much guarantees an all-out push for our team. Here is a good in-and-out Garen style example. Another turret push. This is split pushing 101. When hitting the second tower and you run out of minions, you should immediately cast recall in the bush in case the enemy decides to flank you. But in this case, there were no rotations, so I was free to take the turret. Another swift combo, but Rakan gets the kill instead. As jungler Garen, always run towards your team rather than running away. You're more effective in team fights than you give yourself credit for. To wrap it up, with me leading the push with 6 turret kills and leading in gold by 2,000, the early game pressure allowed the team to play in our terms. Would I recommend Garen jungle in ranked? Probably, but only if our team comp is filled with snowballing heroes that need a lot of early game gold, or if our team really needs a solid frontline tower pushing bruiser. Garen might not be the optimal pick for hard carrying in the jungle, but not even Mundo can match his sustain and tankiness when it comes to team fights. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like and subscribe or comment down below your reactions and suggestions with Garen jungle. You can also comment ideas for future Wildrift videos. This has been fun, and I'll see you nerds in the next one. Just a quick side note, I would like to thank my mom and dad for buying me a microphone. This really helped me greatly in my recording and it allowed me to cancel the background noises that are unnecessary for my Wildrift videos. I would also like to give special thanks to my super supportive girlfriend and my very supportive friends. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. Thank you for watching.